Hello, everybody, and welcome to the end of the cutscene for it shows on the attract mode for Legend of Mana. We're still doing attract modes in 1999, and this is the HD remaster of Legend of Mana. I used to run it on PSX, and then we got shocked when they decided to remaster Legend of Mana. They put out the anime at the same time, so that all makes sense. Anyway, welcome to the quest for good RNG. I'm playing Jumi percent, which is the most RNG of the percents, except for like the super long categories. We have 2 hours and change of my favorite story out of Legend of Mana, and not loading the game. Click on load the game. Get used to that sound. Alright, you're going to choose English so you can read it. Technically, Korean is the fastest language. But we're not here for that today. We're going to play Madam Hairpipes. We are going to pick the hammer for a number of reasons. We are going to change the text to okay. Normally it's just you. Then we're going to pick the world map that we want to play on. We can pick any sort of world map as long as, there's enough land to actually play stuff. We have routed and chosen here for this percent. A lot of routing work has gone into things semi-recently. It's pretty awesome. All right, and with that, we've got going to be once to lock in, and then 3, 2, 1. All right, so not only do we pick our world map, we pick our placements for the world map. All right. One little piece of tech there. Normally, whenever you place an artifact, there's a cutscene. This is like the intro music. It's special. All right, skip past that. It's a good song. We'll hear it in the ending for a bit. But yeah, you can hold down L, it just skips the animation, and it's always done that, nobody ever knew. So, now we get the backstory. 9 centuries ago, the mana tree burned to ashes. The power of mana lived on inside of stuff, but after hundreds of years, stuff isn't stuff anymore. Friendly reminder that everything that is physical eventually degrades. So yeah, this is a story of a world where mana has kind of drained from the system, and so what was, big and sweeping has become kind of petty and small ball. In the original translation, those were with exclamation points. The need be thing, I liked it with exclamation points a little better, to be honest. Right. This phase, and the dream phase, and we will get an alert that we can save anywhere now, which we won't really use, but if things get the worst, it does auto-save as well. So off we go, head down the stairs, hit the menuing buttons, skills, we switch this to spin, we switch. Good deal. Alright, so talk to this little sproutling, he'll tell us they will tell us official gender set, but they're pretty much trees. So, alright, we'll get a tutorial on how to place blocks. Press this button, press this button, press this button, press this button, press L. Get it. We'll head over to Domina, the first town. Alright. So yeah. Yes, very much so. Very much on the Buddhism front. Elazul. He's a piece of work. Alright. Hey, streets belong to us all, says the pushy guy. We'll meet him again later. Alright, we're in Amanda and Barrett's pub. Alright, this guy's hassling a woman who works here. So we try to distract him. Choosing another option here means that you don't get the egg artifact quickly, and we want the egg artifact. So thank you, Rachel, for giving us the jade egg. We won't see Rachel again, I don't think, in this category. Right, Elizul joined our party. Isn't that great? We've got 2 people in our party now. Wonder how many we're going to get. Guess is 3, or you're quarter right. Of course, the controller's going to start acting up today. I do not think so. I'm very brave. Come with me, Niccolo. Alright, so yeah, I don't. Okay, you only get 1 party mate, sure. Your 3rd party slot can be filled by a pet or golem. We will not be seeing pets or golems. Right, that said, Elizul's gonna be like, hey, don't you want to help me look for that friend I mentioned? And we're gonna tell him no. A controller really do not need to do this today. So we head over here. Nicola said he wanted to see Tipo. This is Tipo. It's a magically animated teapot. Duel to the left. We'll meet later twice. That guy in the chair is Mark, who's Rachel's father. We're not going to interact with him. Nicola puts the whammy on the sales whammy on the pot. He'll let us hold on to it, right? So now the pot feels like it's going to be gone, right? You know, we assist Niccolo with conning that guy. We, however, do have a use for that wheel. So I hope the game will show us the wheel. Yep. All right, this is Luon Highway. It is the first area with actual enemies in the game. So here's where you're going to learn what this game is like. What it's like is it's a brawler. See the health bars, see the colors, see the fact that enemies move up and down in the slats. Yeah. Well, that's not great. Ignore the notifications. Alright, so you saw me put on spin earlier. This is why. Candy, double candy. Well, that's worthless. Alright, 3 enemies here. We're trying to move up into a range where we can spin them without dizzying them, because if you could dizzy an enemy, then you can be dizzied as well. What? How do you not die? Be dead. First screen, there's Dana. We're not going to see her again. Get up here. There's Chauvin Hook, the Bud, and Kirk. We're going to use that ST that we set. Okay, good. Yeah. More experience. Alright. We'll go over here, and again, we're going to try to spin. Bug meat. Oh boy. Oh boy, bug meat. These rock spinies take forever to kill, so we just climb over them as well. Computer, I'm begging you not to do that. Whenever you level up, it takes like 5 seconds from your level up to leave the fight if you try. Alright. At least we run now. Cash, cash, cash! Ain't enough! Hey, it's Mantis Hand! That's right, starting the mana game with a Mantis Hand. Looks a little different than I remembered, but... Dang it. So, things like Blammo, the enemies have them too, and they make them invulnerable for a certain period of time. Alright. 1 ST is pretty average for this mana fight. Niccolo, don't you dare come down and take that XP. Mastered counterattack. Yay! So the way that skills work in this game is that after you've used them in a number of battles and bosses count for 4x, you learn that you learn the next thing off of them. For both special techniques like Blammo and your kind of those first two. So he's gonna take all of our money and give us these 3 things. As well as the things we actually care about, the Artifact Flame and the Artifact Medallion. Adios! Don't worry, we're going to see Niccolo again. So if you loved him, don't worry. He'll be back in a moment. Smile! All right, and on that note, Niccolo's business unusual is at an end. Hooray! Let's flame here. All right, head right in. Alright, this is a quest that you basically have to do in every category. This one here that we're about to start. So everybody gets real familiar with the Flame of Hope. Even though it's actually only really kind of like plot relevant to us, to the Jumi arc. So we're gonna see the first Jumis and such here. Yeah, the Sproutling's got some pain, a tummy ache. Oh, Sword of Mana? That's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, this way we ignore the guy with the anime hair. My tummy hurts. This nun here. Priestess, nun. English translation. Yeah, so she's like, I'll peel off a leaf and we can get that, we can get that popo bug off of you. Great, we're going to continue to ignore Mr. Anime Hair. We're going to get a slow pan here as we are see the temple at Grottos. We're not really going to come back here after this quest. Not here. We will come back to Gato right afterwards, but we're not gonna. Something you may have noticed as I move is that I often wiggle. The way the game works, right, like it kind of has a pseudo-alternating thing where like going straight has a little bit of slowdown in it, where if you wiggle run, you can avoid that slowdown. In battle, it's incredibly significantly pronounced. The heavier your weapon, the harder it is to move effectively in battle. But yeah, they're trying to present a, meditate and be at peace thing to the Sproutling, but the Sproutling doesn't understand that concept at all. Can't say I believe it necessarily. We ignore Mr. Anime Hair because we don't need to talk to him. This is a speedrun. Alright, so he's gone. That's great. No longer do I have to talk about not talking about it. Heck, here he is. Alright, so we wait for this little bit of a pan. Oh yeah, Shimamura's is masterful. Their work always delights. Even when she steals it from herself. We'll get to that. Alright, so yeah, here, the nun's like, hey, like, I think this Rubens, right, like this Popo Bug will help you. And he's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. The nun's like, well, life's like this town, you kind of have to cut your way through. Don't you think so? Yeah. Rubens and her will sit there while we move on and continue chasing the Sproutling. The nun on the floor. Oh, hey, it's a mouse. A mouse detective. Sorry, buddy. I have some serious moonwalk there. Twisted my ankle when a Sproutling bumped into me. A not-so-great mouse detective is mad. Steamed, you may say. Steamed mouse. Blast it, Sandra! Alright. back here again. Cutscene again. I can't mash if you disconnect controller. Your girlfriend in Geo. Wait, how do you know but that she was in Geo? Good question. Stop playing games. You don't want the public? Fine menu. You don't care if the Sproutling dies or if your girlfriend sleeps forever. Never! We hear that little gem chime twice here. Jewels that lose their sparkle must be punished. Come any closer and I'll kill him. I want to see some tears. I can't. Too bad. Goodbye, Ruby Knight. Well, yeah, he just murders this guy because he can't cry. Seems a little extreme, but Lucidia is the second caste of Jumi society. Second from the top, the Clarius. Here you up, Sandra. Take the sticks out of your hair. It was a nun. Go catch her. Don't leave. You talk to Ruben. Diana. I wish I could see you again. Sorry. And if you were to go to the underworld, he's there now. Because Rubens has been off. We get another pan down of this hall we've already been in. Talk with the Great Mouse Detective, who will inform us that Sandra the Jewel Hunter said they were going to steal the Flame of Hope, but she was after Ruben's core. I finally yes. Oh, thank you. Alright. So yeah, we're chasing a jewel thief who is apparently a murderer and a jewel thief at the same time. That's just efficiency. Murder people for their jewels, right? Like, that's a 2-for-1. Alright, so I'm gonna go in this door, go over here, sell stuff because I have no money. I actually got such a bad series of drops I have to unequip my weapon to buy here. I'm sure I want to sell. Okay, buy. That's a minor time loss. That I had to go and sell my weapon here. Alright. We get a 50% increase in damage. We're gonna take advantage of that by immediately avoiding this encounter. Head down these stairs, and then the reason we actually bought it now is because there is an encounter here. You stuff. Again, we're spinning because, as with any brawler, lining yourself up directly with the enemies can be frustrating. There's a much longer path through there that the game's intending you to take if you follow those leaves, but you don't need to. Speedrunners, we know better. Alright, pathway of asceticism, we head up here, we go back out to the Gato map one more time, we head here, and the climax, to relieve you of the pain. Again, another jewel chime, rips the leaf off and gets rid of the Popo Bug. There's nowhere to run, Sandra! Sandra takes off her costume and reveals that she's a baddie, and she uses the giant bird that's up there that we can't see to escape. And the Sproutling's happy because the Popo Bug is gone, so they're not in pain anymore. Uh-oh. Let's take this ancient tablet, the Torch of Coral. Good talk. Good talk. We're done with Flame of Hope. Yeah. Do we call a positive split? Alright, so we re-enter Gato immediately. So you have to kind of, quote-unquote, unlock lands by doing their first quest so you can then place stuff next to them. that first Flame of Hope is the unlock for this one. I would like to go gather green balls with you. Niccolo's Business Unusual, Part 2. Alright, so... But yeah, we're going to play stuff next then shortly. However, it's going to give us... We don't have to go into the caves, which is great. Go here. This is where he's going to pick green balls. He's going to use his finest, you know, instant transmission techniques to move around the screen rapidly. We have to go off screen and come back. He will do this forever if you don't leave the screen. After about 4 cycles of him instant transmissioning around. There we go. Talk to this fairy. Respond to the fairy. Niccolo can't see the fairy. And then they run off. And all of that would be relevant if this were a different category. Alright, we got a green ball, 500 lucre, and an artifact. Alright, so now we're going to place 3 of our 5 artifacts. And the reason we don't place all the way down is because as long as you have 3, or as long as you have 2 or less, as long as you have 2 or less, the game will give you 2 when it can. Disconnect on the skip time? Really? Controller's really having a day, let me tell you. Place the jade egg. Ancient tablet. And we go. This is where we can't have nice things. Alright, so we are now in the junkyard. It's a junkyard of toys and stuff that were used as soldiers in a previous war. We're an artificer. Technically, what we've been doing when placing stuff is these artifacts. Anyway, junkyard. This is a bit of a door/teleporter maze where it's not linear. Beard runner, so we know the route. Enemies! Lizard meat. Do combats in this area before we get to the boss. Welcome to the Moldy Goo. I'll be your host, the Moldy Goo. Okay, so something I didn't talk about was canceling. You hear those honks? I mentioned those. That's when you press a button that isn't bound. But pressing a button that isn't bound resets your ability to use a heavy attack. Otherwise, there's lag on the backside of a heavy attack. Poor guys. That's a lot of guys. A lot of poltergeists. Okay, that's rude. Oh, because I took off the... Oh, because I took off the weapon and de-equipped Blammo. Well, that sucks a lot. Actually, this fight's kind of miserable that much, though. More time lost because of I didn't get enough money out of the initial sequence. That's annoying. All right, we got the 2 artifacts that I mentioned because we had two or less on our thing. Here we meet Louis for the first and only time. They have some good Black Mage vibes there, no matter what they are. That's Infernal Doll. Alright, yep. Lost like 30 seconds because Blammo isn't bound. head here first. We're gonna do a little bit of a skip. Rather, we call it the half skip. So the cutscene we're about to watch is mandatory. So it's free. But by watching the cutscene now, we prevent ourselves from having to fight several fights in the next area. So this girl we're going to leave behind. Remember her, she'll be back in a second. Don't worry about the continuity sometimes in this game. Yep. All right. I was testing my controller earlier today and it just stayed connected for a long time, and now it's being a butt. All right. That's a pearl. Where's the jungle? Oh, it's here. Alright, the notes are a little weird. Alright. Anyway, head back here. Alright. This is why I have the notes open twice. Resolve. Like that. Alright, so start the Lost Princess. We talk to one of these cool Alice in Wonderland like hippos. Boink! We talk to the boink, and then we boink. And now we're later in the cave. Great. Saved us some stuff. Alright, we're gonna try and grind. We're gonna try and get a weapon drop here. Like 37%. To get a weapon drop off of each of these or something like that. It's not super rare, but it's not that like if we get it in the first 2 attempts, we save time. Also, that our counter strike routing means that again, I mentioned, like if you're too close. Earth Splitters. You can't equip 2 weapons, but Earth Splitter is what we want. Since alright, we're on an axe now, we don't have one. I needed to equip Counter Strike earlier and I failed to because I was so distracted by the loss of stuff. We're gonna have to take a couple fights here. Much like the hammer, my power. Okay. Mush boobs, please. We really do need it for moving. Fights of loss. I think we just have to proceed with counterattack and hate it. Yeah, you get 4 fights worth of credit. That's really annoying. I'm not sure I've ever done that before. Alright. How you doing? Counterattack isn't good, counter strike is amazing. Counter-Strike is like 8x damage on the counter-attack. Oh, come on, Dewey! I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't know you were going to use 3 STs. Jerk. 2 levels. Well, if you're going to get 1, you might as well get 2. There we go. All right, Flying Saw Blades and Counter-Strike, which is what we really care about. All right. Elazul. Who's Elazul? Have we heard that name before? Oh, it's that jackass, right. Yay. Even though she was at the tower, she's also here. Don't worry about it too much. She was after your core. What's a core? You don't know what a core is. Is that a joke? Some serious codependency hours in this place. We've cleared our plate of artifacts, so we'll get 2 here. Firefly Lamp's the one we kind of need. Stone Eye is just a pleasant... Alright, yep, no, I lost an hour... I lost a minute 40 because I screwed all of that up. Alright, that said, it's time for Tea Time of Danger. Off we head to the Minas. No placements yet, because we still have a plate of 2. All right. It's Duel. Hey, Duel. Duel's going to say that T-Po's lost in the ruins. A little, yeah. I spy. Some of these things' names you would recognize from Secret Mana, even if you... That's a Flowerling. We'll care about those later. Now we're going to fight the Malboro. Yes, it's a Malboro. Yes, it has bad breath. I need to get drops. We got the Long Seed there. Hey, it's... Oh, no. Epo's trapped behind a door. What can we do? This is a little bitty kind of puzzle segment. We have to figure out how to manipulate the doors to get where we need to go. The Flowerlings represent locked doors, so we move it from the upper left to the upper right. And then T-Po, we be able to get the T-Po, right? Quest over. Easy peasy. Wait, where'd T-Po go? So, like, where'd you go, T-Po? We'll be back to her later. Okay, still don't see T-Po. We got blocked by a Flowerling because that's how it works sometimes. That's through, thank you. Can't move the upper one, because if we move the upper one, we can't get out. Excuse me. Right, so there we go. There's that. The isolated Flowerling. Just like the isolated pink Flowerling. Alright, Psychokinesis. Psychokinesis activated. Great. We have no idea what that does. But let's go back to the isolated Flowerling. Begging you to let me through for once in your life. Yeah, you can get blocked by NPCs in lots of games. This one included. Finally, the Flowerlings stay out of the way for once. She feels it! In we go. Chest Knight. Bought one of these before. Not exactly. Succubus. This is new. Can drop hats that are actually almost useful. Mummy, this guy in the old Japanese PX could drop an incredible punch weapon. but in the US version, and that's what became eventually the HD version, the qualities of cloths were changed. Cloths are now sharp instead of blunt, something to that effect. It transposed all the cloths, so all the in-game gloves are now terrible. Oh, I almost forgot. Blood-sucking bat lives here. Tipo nopes out very slowly, and we don't seem to react to. So take care, yeah? The biting will continue until Tipo leaves the room. Alright, there we go. Game didn't let me move. Now I get hit with the magic. We're using soft because he's interrupting my heavies like that. In theory, if you hit him with enough soft, and now he's gonna ST, the jerk. Dark spears. Alright, it's tea time of danger. We get bottled spirit and rusty anchor. You had quite an adventure out there, didn't you, buddy? No more adventures for Tipo. We used to steal money here. We don't anymore. It's a shame. But I mean, at least we don't have to steal her money. That's good. But really, we're not stealing her money. We're stealing Gilbert's money, and that guy's a jackass. All right. So there's Gilbert over there. We'll be interacting with him in a second. Here's Monique. She needs to sell 6 lamps. Business has been slow. Poet of love, Gilbert. If I don't sell my lamps, I'll starve. I'll sell the lamps. That's very nice of you. Here begins our beautiful love story. They are actually like boyfriend, girlfriend. Sell them. All right. We get 3 lamps. We can sell. Sell each of them for 1,000 lucre, 1,000 gold. And in theory, we can spend that down, and that affects nothing negatively, but we have routed it such that the thing we actually need to buy is in the next area. So first, though, we have to become able to speak Dudbear. So watch this, okay? Dub, dud, dooba, doo-doo, dubba, boo, boo, da, ba, da, da, doo, ba, 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 doo, ba, ba, da, da, bub. Got all that? Great. Yes. Yes. Buy a lamp. Essentially, you need to befriend them all. This is the... this is the one that's just happy to be alive. Everything that you're supposed to respond yes to everything, and they give you the second lamp. That. Right, third Dudbear. Over here. This Dudbear is the disagreeable one. He's like, you hate me. You hate music. Music? Yeah! Or light, one or the other. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay, we did it. We sold the lamps. We didn't steal any of the money. We usually do that. In this category in the past, in other categories, you do steal that money, but that's been routed out. Because we place this before we do Drowned Dreams, rather than the other kind of way around. Alright, so yeah, we sold all the lamps. They're gonna go outside, stare at the stars, and talk about their future. So in the PSX version, there's a pan here to the left to get all that in. The HD remaster made it so that some screens that would pan originally don't. Yes, Windbliss is correct. You don't. If you can either take the tutorial again or you can pass a different dud bear. If you succeeded a different dud bear, that also clears gag status. So on that first screen, if you screw up, you just get the other one correct and you're fine. Third one, you're kind of like, if you screw the third one up, you do have to go back. And there's no other dud bears to sell to. But yeah, if you can reset your status on those by talking to the barkeeper or succeeding on another dud bear. But yeah, their text doesn't change, right? So it's just speedrunner brain, don't screw it up. All right, so yeah, they separated because she has like small day-to-day dreams, and he just has like has us have the dud bears do the work, and we can just live a life of leisure and happiness and love. And she's just like, I like crafting stuff, buddy. And he's like, oh, okay, bye. Gilbert's a tool. Yeah, the dud bears that we sold stuff to come back and tell her, this is why I love this job. Get the trembling spoon and the sand rose. And clonk. All right. Yeah, I didn't buy extra stuff, so this is a better split. All right, so. Place this here. That there. And having placed all of that, so position placed, or like the order in which one it's placed. Like if you're placing your 14th, plus distance from home determines the area's level. For towns, that means the stuff that they sell. And so we have sufficiently placed enough land and gotten far enough away that this will sell the things we needed to sell. Which is to say, it sells a gold hammer. I can help. I can help you with these ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You need to sell a little. We don't need to sell a lot. Yeah, we got that extra earth splitter that makes life easy. Gold hammer. Counter strike. Put on flame. All right. We never have to menu again. Whew. So yeah, back to the drowned dreams things, right? So. Thoma, there's a ship sank. What about the ghost? Great. Talk. Good talk, Thoma. Get out of here. Nobody here that's relevant. Up here, and there's a fish guy kind of blocking the way. Don't get frustrated. I'm not like beer commenters. Shoo, 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 shoo. So that guy's a bit of a jerk. Whatever. Mr. Fish. Dancing is even better than before. Better, we mean sexier. Previous translation. Business is business. It is and she really doesn't like basket fish, but that's a lot of money. Alright, so here's Boy, let's ask about basket fish. Okay, sure. How about basket fish? Alright, he's fawning as well. About basket fish? So there's 3 questions there. You're supposed to, right, like ask all 3, but all it's looking for is that you asked him anything 3 times. So you just ask him the fastest thing possible. And then he tells you that he's here to look for the ghost. You talk to him again, and you tell him the soldier, right, like might have blue eyes, but we know that the dancer and we know that the other two options don't. So a process of elimination. Basket. What? Alright, thanks, Gilbert. We're not gonna talk to that moron. That fool. That jackanapes. What a stupid name. Yeah, he's not wrong. Alright, hey, it's the Terrible Mouse Detective. Discovered a clue. What do you say? Cooperate? Certainly. Mr. Thoma. Alright. Great. Back in the hotel. You know, if you played PSX era RPGs, it is very common to end up in that situation where the direction you're going is not the direction you continue going when you make this transition. So yeah, we ask about the thing. This is like, you got the blue eye, and then the dancer says, I want to see the blue eye, and that's like, okay, anything you want. Yeah, Thoma's brother is the one on top of that ship. Thoma himself, but brother. And then we see a different looking harpy than the one that was selling lanterns. That's that. Good talk, game. Sea Hag sank in. Ghost! Hand me the blue eye! Note that the inspector has disappeared there. Oh no, the inspector's back. And here's go. What? Did you see that? You were just here. Ghosts aren't real. You were just here. The jewel thief. I don't know how Sandra got herself so much shorter. But good work, Sandra. You've thrown us off of the loop, off of your scent. And that's Drowned Dreams. All right. Now we have to do something a little weird. Head into Duma. There's a quest here. We are not going to do it, but we are going, by starting this quest, we lock out something that would happen in a later area that involves her, right? Like we lock her actor in place, and so the game just skips that thing when we go there, and that gets us through a fairly annoying quest, a fairly annoying quest that we just end up not having to do. But yeah, like this, she's a teacher at the Magic Academy. He's like a basilisk that you can save from the thing. He doesn't know what to do, and that's just too bad because we are speedrunners. See ya. Right? We could in theory always go back. All right. So I said we did that cutscene here. Right. That was required. Now Pearl's here, and she didn't leave. Looking Glass Tower. Pearl. Pearl was clumsy. Yeah, I know. The order of operation is really weird. You try to stop her, and you can't go with her, and you try to stop her, and you don't successfully stop her. So into the tower we go after her. The first time we get to see the gold hammer do its job. That was a lot faster. Alright. Do it. Oh, almost went back. Alright. It's just a pair of swords. Talk. Don't need your filthy lucre. Second floor. There are 11 floors to this tower. We are not going to visit each one of them. Alright, the bats. And I'm in the middle? Love it. Dead bats. And so yeah, like the other reason we pick hammers, not only are they high power, but like that spin, like the spin combination with hammer that I'm doing here, obviously doesn't do multiple hits, right? And it doesn't get any faster if you use a lighter weapon, right? So what you should, if you're going to use spin a lot, you should probably pick the highest damage weapon you've got. That's the hammer. The hammer's the highest damage weapon. Additionally, when you level up, your stat gains are based on your equipped weapon for that level. Like the hammer gives the most power, right? Convenient. Yeah, it's this way. Yeah, it's okay. See, you heard that whole time there when I was wiggling, you didn't hear a footstep. That's what tells you are wiggling successfully, is that it doesn't enter the phase of stepping where you can hear yourself step. You interrupt that by picking a different direction. You hear like scuffs of like shoes against the ground or whatever. Drop and wiggle. 7th floor now? We're halfway there? Oh, we already did this one, guys. You can see there how slowly you move with the hammer if you don't try and do anything funny. Fast movements over here. And they did. Great. Good talk. Everybody played hard. Two sword nerds and a chess nerd. Brave Blade, of course it's a Brave Blade. There's other categories where you try to farm a Brave Blade the way we farmed up that axe. The odds are worse though than getting a usable axe. Second elevator. It goes to the top. It only takes us to the 10th floor, but then these stairs, and we're on the 11th floor. We did it. 11th floor, the Door of Fate. My core is cloudy. I mustn't use this. It's a sword, buddy. Possibly the big deal about a sword in a mana game. I refuse. I do not understand that translation in the slightest. Nonetheless, we are able to go in immediately. See Pearl and this other kind of darker looking chick. Disappears. Boss appears. Buddy, you win. You saw the counter strike there, right? Like not pretty significant. Counter strikes hit hard. This is one of the category that perhaps gets to use that factor most. Fortunately, we had to rock. Thankfully, in the PSX version, you walked there. Here, if you have default run, you run there instead. So that's, you know, a bunch of minor save there. Plus, the load times aren't as bad, obviously. Right. All right. So like Pearl's like, hey, like let me stay in the tower a little more, please, Alazul. And he's like, fine, you can walk her out, but if anything happens to her, I will kill you. I don't need the shovel talk, buddy. I'll take care of the trash on the way down. Real gamer moments, Elazul. All right, we will shortly get to learn why Pearl is the worst companion in the game. Strictly a fastest possible loading of things method. after we jump down 6 flights, and she's fine. Great. When you get in combat, it takes Pearl a second, a moment longer to leave combat than anybody else. It's annoying. Pearl is tagged. Oh no, we came at this from. No, why? I don't know why I got confused there. We're supposed to go this direction out of all the elevators. You know that. Alright, we're back here. Spin these bats out. Sometimes with front plane occlusions, you miss something and then the game is okay. We're gonna wait for timeout, and you can leave. There's no leaving stuff behind in this game. Woohoo! Brave Blazing Throat Slitters akimbo. Bad, you can't do anything. 3 bats. Problem solved. Mission mail. Right. Empire Faye. Go up this way. Music changes, which certainly can't possibly be anything relevant. What was that? A note from the Jewel Hunter. Oh heck. Coming to take your core. Clouds who lose their sparkle will be punished. The lowest class of Jumi is Clouds. Alright, here's Jewel Beast 1. Why aren't you successfully hitting me, buddy? Keeps accidentally hitting Pearl and not hitting my Counter-Strike. God hates me. This is the push. That was really bad. At least he didn't ST. Like, that would have been the icing on a terrible, terrible cake that was that boss, because Pearl kept taking the hits instead of me. That's gonna suck. Alright, just listen to your core. We'll meet again. Good night, Pearl. Zoop! Guardian without a knight's a sitting duck. Elzo's looking for their Jumi, and if he finds another Guardian, I hope he never finds one. Right, so the Jumi kind of, their pairings are Guardians who can cry for their knights, and knights who can protect their Guardians. Right, is the way that Jumi society has kind of worked things out. Alright, great. Let's place Frozen Heart. And you'll note that, like, Tower of Liares, which we're going to go to twice, is close to home, right? T-Top of Danger was close to home, right? Like, so to advance the Jumi arc, you have to go home once. In the course of a normal casual playthrough, you go home a lot, for a variety of reasons. Home to advance Jumi, and then we go over here, and now we can start the Jumi quest properly. Do it by going to Amanda and Barrett's and finding Elzo. I'm looking for a friend. I'll go with you. Come on, let's go. Stop being Broody McThinkpat. Internal thoughts, Pat. Broody McGoth pants. Yeah, we're going somewhere. Stay here? Yeah, I want you to stay here. That's not fair. Too dangerous. It's dangerous here too, buddy. You stay at my place. Woohoo! Yeah, the baddie we get by actually caring about somebody's well-being. All right, good talk. All right. If I didn't screw anything up, we're going to enter Geo here on Aura Day, and I think that is going to happen. It is great. We did it. All right. So in this Geo has a bunch of day routing stuff. Like there's 6 days and like different professors are in it. This is the place where if Finja were able to be an actor, this wouldn't happen. You wouldn't see this Esmeralda scene. Because Finja's in the desert, we do, so we just, by starting that quest, we'd end up being able to skip the talk to all the students quest that is the case here. VT reference for RPG enjoyers out there. Directionals. Wrong directional. Alright. My name's Esmeralda. Howdy, Magic Warrior. Hello. I'm sure scouring the road in search of Jumi. No more Undine Day. Alright. I hope you have the day schedule memorized. If you don't, well, no more Undine Day is next. So, we're fine, but we need to advance time. And we don't go out to the world map to advance time, because that's the only other way. We go to the Denny's, we go to the IHOP, we go to your favorite local, you know, open all-night chain, and it's Gnome Day. Favorite stay all-night food place. The library's down here. It's Esmeralda. You may have noticed that Esmeralda's addressing Elazul, right? Like, that is the case in most of this game, is that we aren't the primary characters, right? But like, these are other people's stories that we are a part of. Right? We're following the Jumi arc because the stuff is happening to and with the Jumi. I haven't seen anybody like her, all right? That is it is a constant thing in this game that you aren't really the main story, the main character of any of the stories that you're playing. You're relevant, you're very relevant, but like, if you were written out of the narrative, right, like, nothing of value would be lost. Alright, so, Sleep Cafe. It is alright with me. Okay, go back. We talk to Esmeralda, and she says, hey, can't talk to you during class. So the quest that we skipped was all the students just deciding not to attend school. You can see a professor there hidden by the pillar. Come to the library on a Gnome Day. No more Undine Day. So yeah, the kids just aren't going to school, right? Like, and so like this, to satisfy that quest's requirements, you get all the kids to go back to school. No more Undine Day is 2 days away. Dryad Day. Need to skip again. Advance time. Now, in the normal course of playing this game casually, right? Like, you won't necessarily just kind of burn through the days to get this to happen. It's there for if you want it, but it's not necessarily the way you're going to end up playing the game. Right, so no more Undine Day, and so we are on our way to the library again. Why is the library entrance and the down exit so close to each other? Alright. So now Emerald sees, she ran away from the Jumi city, taken into the academy, the Jumi city, the only one that could heal, Florida, kidnapped, got the power of healing, right, like, and, no, Noonsack's looking after me. You need me to your knight? Elzo, you already have a gun. You said that would be too timing. The safety of one guardian is enough for a knight to worry about. Exotic hair pipes like that, she can't fail. Except the knighthood. Elazul goes to the jewelry shop. we don't really, she doesn't tell us what her sisters look like. First thing we're gonna do is go into, the principal is teaching today. So he's not in here to interfere with our lives. This is the principal's office. Thief! We're gonna kind of sweep from where we were to where we're going, gathering gems, investigating doors along the way. Wendell, the jewelry shop, shoutouts to Seiken Densetsu 3 or Trials of Mana. Yeah, only their cores are left. You're looking for your sister's cores. There might be magic left in them. Only Jumi can cry is for you. Let me handle this. You should go back to class. If you think it's dangerous, protect me. You're a knight. Act like one. Yeah, like the race whose cores are gemstones, like does in fact see that the jewelry shop is on board. Directionals. All right. We're gonna do something here. Kind of like Esmeralda thinks there's a gem here, right? And then a cutscene happens where the teapot investigates the plant, but by sleeping there, we skip that scene. And the teapot does not move quickly, so that cutscene's actually pretty slow. Plus, it takes us outside of the world map, so that's, you know, map transition save. Have you ever seen a jewel like this? Southern Beach. I saw one in the store room below. Right, Sotheby has the little girl from an SD3 accent. Right, it's a woman in an A-line dress, straight as hell down. I'm no longer a Jumi. Why not? You're doomed. This is Diana. This is the person that Rubens is a guardian for and who was looking for a way to heal Diana. But she's fine, right? Like, none of that makes sense. Diana's awake and alert and, right, like, perfectly alive and reasonable right there. And she's not suffering from some sort of debilitating illness, like, she's just fine. Right? Later, she turns into stone, right? But that bit of writing, right, like, for Flame of Hope is very odd to me. So, yeah, the cafe, Esmeralda's like, no, really, it's gotta be at the cafe. Right, so in the cutscene, we see the teapot investigate that plant. We skipped, but yep, that's in fact where it is. That's me, Emerald. Hello to cobblers. You're my knight, fight for me. Violence is wrong. Says the character murdering everything that gets in their way with a giant hammer. Violence is wrong. Yeah, the teapot was just gonna like, listen to their story and kick them out. And then like, the teapot's like, oh, it's such a sad story. Like, oh, your sisters are dead. Jumi can't cry anymore, which is why that whole like Rubens cry thing was so important, right? Like it's like Sandra was trying to get Rubens to cry, right? Like and couldn't, right? The Jumi can't cry. What are we gonna do? No matter what you say there, she dishes you. So we pick the fastest option. We follow her immediately and find out. It's the Great Mouse Detective! And she's immediately disappeared. You can go into that gem shop and get Elazul, but that's a waste of time. Yeah. Alright, so Esmeralda, we head back. Diana said that she invited the Jewel Thief to take her core. Esmeralda, warp! She does have warp stuff. If you say I'll try, it's not good enough. You have to say no matter what. Then you get teleported down into the Jewel Beast 2 fight. This Jewel Beast has different elemental weaknesses, which you can't take advantage of in any way. Need you to play nicely. Again. Good. One more time. please. We'll take that. Even if it was a little annoying. Proceed to this doorway. And yeah, she can't, Emma can't cry. So, poof. She takes all of the cores. Feels Sandra gets all of the stuff she wanted. Well, hell. And then leaves, and like Deanna's like, as a promise of goodwill, I'll give you a piece of bronze steel. Yay. And Pearl's at your home asleep. Good deck. We have to go in here, and Elda's walking around. We're going to lie to him and say that she hasn't come around. Let's find her. Cosmo. Alright, we'll enter the world map, and immediately we'll get this little letter cutscene, and it will tell us to go to Mecha Caverns. Yeah, no, I caught it. Okay, we can finish now. Okay. It forces us back into home, annoyingly. I think the Japanese PSX version didn't do that. But, and this, as you saw at the beginning, or like this is a language like there's now one version for the HD remaster, and it's this one, and this one is basically all the American versions works. So we're not gonna actually do anything here, but we need to move things forward. Right now, both Cathinja and the desert are bound up in that quest. By doing this, we unbind both Cathinja and the desert, and we bind the principal and this area. All right. Principal missing saves us a few types of box text, but we can't actually finish the Jumi arc if the desert is busy. We do that. Then we head to where the card sent us, the caves. We will see the duck here. Duck is funny. Tells us that Sandra has legs for days, basically. But yeah, I saw Sandra. Hot Chihuahua. Upper boink. That is why Elazul. That is where Elazul does his worst. Just pushes people. Not bad. Okay, you're gonna meet this new weird little guy. Here's Pearl. I'm aware that I need to hurry. Straight down this path. Thanks, weirdo. Bye-bye, weirdo. Again, I was pushing to make life suck. Anything which deforms your sprite makes you unhittable for the duration of the deformation. And that little push thing that Elazul does counts. Not only does it move it, it takes the thing out of your combo attempt. Yeah, here's Sandra confronting Pearl again. Do I look like the sort of woman who would listen to you? Top tier signs. But too late. Carded. Yeah, you got carded. Well, Pearl, his core is scratched, you know. Cry some tears and you can heal him. And then the funny look out of Sandra, stop this. The Lord of Jewels. It's pointless to hurt like that. I cannot stand this girl. Answer me. Indeed. They cut a paper so hard that it scratched a lapis lazuli. I don't need the power to hear, just give me the power to fight! Whoa, hey, it's the girl from the tower. Black Pearl. You really wanted to battle with me, Sandra? No! I'm not so foolish. Gone! Very nopes out there. Jewel Beast 3. Different weaknesses than Jewel Beast 1 and 2. Sandra, you need to. Black Pearl got in the way, but her hammer actually hits for reasonable damage. In casual play, she is incredible because she fills up your ST bar whenever close, so you can just spam STs and go as much as you want when she's with you. Truly incredible amount of power, but it's slow. STs aren't fast, right? Is Florina alive? I think she'd say, find the answer yourself. But yeah, Sandra is like, you basically betrayed your sister. And Black Pearl's like, go to hell. Right, and then yeah, Black Pearl dismisses Elazul. And then this guy, the Lord of Jewels, teleports us out. If we had recruited Bud and Lisa at this point, they would be talking about like why he needs to rest in your bed. We need to get him out of my bed. Right. As often the case in RPG, triggers aren't exactly like clear. Right? Like in this case, it's, you go up and down the stairs. If you go up the stairs 6 times, he is gone. That's 2, 3, 4. You might ask, why would you ever go back to this room? The answer is that that little cactus there has a journal that he writes on, and if you go after every quest, it tells you. Right, so in normal play, you would do 6 more quests, and then he would leave. Right. Little sorcerer starts. Again, you usually go home more and this happens sooner. But we don't care. We're just gonna go somewhere. Now we're gonna go to the tower. This is why we wanted the tower close to us. Because we go there twice. Fight 3 bosses there. As well as all of the trash fights. Alright, so... I'm fine. Pearl wants to be in that room. Wrong direction. Tower again. Alright. I'm gonna take the exact same path up. Air ghost swords. Another throat slitter. Good at my wiggle when I'm moving straight left right. It's when I have to angle it any direction. Oh, okay, that push actually brought him into range, so thanks, Elazul. Bad they created candy on that. Ducks give out a pile of HPs. Most of the demi-human enemies do. We drop down to 5, 5 to 4, whichever. No, it's from 6 to 5. Yeah, from 6 down to 5, then across to head up the tower some more. Fights in the room with Mana Goddess statue, the sprite statue. Right from 2nd and SU2. Those used to be the save points, right? Like it's a PSX era RPG, right? Like there's no such thing as auto save, right? Those things get saved anywhere. And in the HD remaster, we got access to both those things, so now those those things can still turn on two-player mode. Yes, this has kind of a multi-tab, but like a second player option where you can play the other character. In fact, you can even bring your own character to this game and play it. Like, there's a two-player mode in essence. Elzo didn't screw it up. Thank you, Elzo. Screw it up. Nobody cares about your drops, game. Not even good. This far. Swords with a knight. There you saw me get stunned. Dizzy. By my own, hoist upon my own petard, as it were, spinning. These are dark stalkers, like from like the last enemy, the worst knight enemy, the worst knight style enemy in RGLtv in Secret of Mana. Yeah, that's them. They definitely got an art rework. Second elevator. Transportation device. Why did I pressed a directional and it acted as if I pressed the A button? Yeah. Annoying. Alright. Anyway, we're back at the top again. Ready to jump off the tower again. If we need to. Alright, so here, Elazul's like, he heard the door of fate only opens the person who if you know the person inside. And like, I can't open it! We can open it. I don't see the problem. Reach the stratum of Clarius. You will become the Clarius. You will succeed Florina and give your life to the Jumi. Pearl. You will shed your life as tears and give them to everyone. You will continue until there is no life. We must persevere until mana returns. Help Elazul, and you will both die. Pearl, you wait here. Off we go. Boss music. We fight Black Pearl this time. Humans tend to be the easiest to counter-strike, but not when Elazul screws everything up like a jerk. One more time, Pearl. There we go. Alright. 1 ST also pretty normal for her. Elazul got in the way because that's what he does. Most impressive. I will leave her alone for a while. Pearl is mine. She will come back to me. He who cries for a Jumi will turn to stone. The old legend is true. So because this is HD, right, like in normal PSX, she walks off the screen and Pearl walks back on. Right, like in this one, she just kind of disappears and Pearl just kind of reappears, and it's funny as heck. All right, yeah, it took Pearl forever to get there. And then she runs after it. 2 pearls. All right. Now we gotta go home again to advance the Jumi plotline. We don't need to do anything, we just need to go home. Again, this game has it has a number of triggers conceptually like this. Jumi is the only one where it's like you have to go home over and over again. To force time to pass. I'm gonna go here. You need to see Diana. No, I didn't mean to refuse. Accept. Those little heads off somewhere. Pearl follows us. But that pelican that warned us about, like, pumpkins and very scary and she can't do her job anymore. We're gonna go this way. Enjoy this music. It's the only time we're going to get to hear Diddle's music. Diddle is a tadpole with a hurdy-gurdy, and it's awesome. Right, there's the mail carrier. She's a baddie too, honestly. She's just like, I shoot the boys, straight through the heart, bang. This is Bud and Lisa, or Bud and Corona in the Japanese translation. Yes, it is. It was meant to be the joke that it obviously. There you go. Goodbye, kids. Beating up children with a hammer. I'm here, apprentice. All right. We have to do this because the Jumi finishing cut scene requires that they are at your house. All right, so we took one step away from home and we got to Damina. Okay, here's another card thing. It's gonna land in Geo. We're gonna get forced back into Damina, and then we're gonna take one step to Geo. Like, this is where all of the land placement routing pays off, right? Like, we've placed the places that matter as close to home as possible, and also along routes that are reasonable to follow. Back them several times. Domino always has to be at home, but right, like the Geo and Gato and such. There are no actual mechanical restrictions on where those go, other than like they have to be on land. Very few places can be put on the sea. City gate. Elderson said he wanted to go see Diana, so we'll go see Diana. We will screw up the directionals. Because my brain was on the next screen like, hey, we're going to go see Diana. Down to the right. Yeah. Down here. Okay, now Diana is stone. Try not to worry. Why Diana turned to stone? I have no idea. The legend is Jumi turned to rocks if they shot their weapons. This is a ceremony. Jumi gathers the keys of the heart, uses the keys to unlock a stone. Right? So this is like Diana is stone, but like the game makes it says that the way to get her to be unstoned is to unlock the keys to her heart. And Rubens is not a new Jumi. Rubens would know this, right? So why does the Popo big thing... it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Continuity I just do not understand. Despite having played this game over a couple dozen times. Alright. Found one of them. The second one's in the music shop there. We're not going there immediately. Because we'll have to go get this one anyway, and text on this one after you pick it up is faster than the text on the other one. And we won't see the pickup text, right, for the third one, same way, right? Because this little ping that, I feel like I'm being watched. Those little, just one more to go, I guess. That X behind there is longer for the second one than the third. Longer for the one in the music shop than it was that one. And we don't see that when there aren't any left. Minor time save by doing that one first. We have to go that far anyway, and we have to walk out the same way, right? Yeah, there's no route. It's the last one. Let's go see Diana. Got the keys of pain, hate, fear. It's not good. The keys to Diana's heart are not good. Talk to Christy. She moved that to the basement. It's important. Over here, if you go in first. She's not there, but she's not here either. Wait, but once you talk to Christy, she's there. Elazul! Elazul walks slow as awful. They can use controller. Act like a controller for once. The Jewel Hunter? He wants revenge against the Jumi. Jumi were known as the friendly people that cried for the wounds. Here's where life is set. Teardrop crystals. Right. But when widespread Jumi hunting, right, like that changed. They cut themselves out, lived in a city, and then Sandra kidnapped Florina and started a war. So what becomes of Florina? Generation of children need her tears. Why does she have to? Why does the child at Omelas need to be tortured at all? Why don't you cry instead? I can't. Unlike he's not. You must find Black Pearl. Indiana's gone. Another Jumi down. Looks like we have made up the disaster that was Lost Princess. Which is nice. Can to cut us loose? Do it now. There's 2 more Jumi quests, and then the final 2 quests of the game that everybody has to play. After this one. There we go. And clunk. Alright. Yep. We've made back that time I lost early and then some. Alright, so now we go right back into Geo. So I mentioned I needed to get the principal out of the way and out of the desert, and need to get Cathincha out of the desert. This is why. You're about to use the desert from Geo. Via Kuez. Using something in a dream counts too. Alright. So you head into Alex's shop. Nobody's there. You end up inside of Pandora's box. And it's a woman in a pentagon bed. A pentagon bed woman. I'm Florina, the Jumi of Fluoride. Alex hides me. Which is weird, because, like, Sandra is supposed to be the one hiding her? Do not ask who I am. Your nightmares are so bad my tapir wouldn't even come. Tapir are, mythologically in Japan, dream eaters. It's a complicated thing. Hello, why? You can call yourself Chumpy, and people will react as if Chumpy was a real person. Like, they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of Chumpy before. But yeah, the Belle the Witch here is trying to explain how dreams work, right? Like in Nightmare Gravity, and then sends us into Clean House when it comes to the bad bugs in her dreams. And we're in the desert. Yes. Each one of these saves combats in time. Basket fish don't get in the way. You can get out of here pretty quickly. All the basket fish are talking about how they think she's great, and she is just like, I hate fish, I hate scales, I want them gone. Right. That screen is her nightmare. Short version is a pun. When it comes to wordplay, like the Japanese have the English beat on like by miles. Right? Like the amount of wordplay that is present in casual Japanese culture. But yeah, so this is Black Pearl and Elazur are having a very kind of like, what should you do? You have to talk to Elazur here to get rid of that sandfall. Otherwise, Niccolo just takes you back to the Oasis. Sandfall is gone. Niccolo will take us to see a dog that we will never interact with in this category. The dud bears. There's a bunch of dud bears that dig, who worship that dog. And so it's like, oh, okay, like in the dreams, maybe the dog says stuff. Because like Little Cactus says stuff in the dream if you talk to them. but the dog just goes. The dog is just a dog. Like they worship a normal ass dog. It's funny. All right. But yeah, this is Black Pearl, and Helzo have a theory of what it needs to protect, right? Like she's like, Black Pearl's like, I have to protect everybody because that's the only way to make Florina sacrifice matter. And Helzo's like, but we can only, and like Dunsack's like, you can only protect one. You can only protect one thing. Don't skip around. You can walk around all day for all I care. This is the way. Physics isn't real. The bag that appeared in this picture. All right. Bed light orbit. Sounds a little Parasite EV. Let's assume more awesome. Parasite EV. Jewel Beast 4! It also has different elemental weaknesses. No partner distribution. You are kind of invincible going into a battle, and it screws with counterattacking. He has 2 attacks. One is the drill. One is the beam. One more button. That's how we draw it up. Without the ST, but one ST, but you get all the counter attacks. It's probably average. Each of those bars of HP, by the way, those small bars are 100 HP. So we're in like the 140 HP range at the moment. Right, a boss's bar is 4 of those, so a full boss bar is 400 HP. But yeah, this game uses full brawler semantics. Like if you double tap forward, you have a different move. That's what, if you see me do things that aren't heavy, aren't spin, aren't counterattack, aren't light, right? Like those are command, like you press forward twice to thrust, you press backwards forwards to jump, you do a quarter circle forward to uppercut. That's right. No confusion there. All right, that's fluorite. On that note, must again advance the Jumi flags. The map for the city is up, so I don't make any mistakes there. We leave immediately. All right, this is Teardrop Crystal. This is the final. This will be the final quest of the Jumi arc. We are to start it very shortly. This is where all the exposition. Right, like this is where the whole thing comes together. First, to start this, you have to, having visited home after having done Alexandria or Fluorite, you have to talk to the mouse detective. Who wants to go to Geo, find out they can So this place gets weird here, right? So Alex said that he has been here, like Boyd told Alex stuff, right? Right? But he doesn't recognize the place at all, right? So he sees the door is closed. We see it is open. We walk up. We're able to open the door, and abandoned jewelry shop, right? Like. Things are weird. This place looks abandoned and nobody knows who Alex is. Like time is something's wrong. Let's search the place for clues. Hey look, it's a box. I wonder what this box could be. Oh, it's Pandora's box. Yeah! We did it! I'll try to lessen my pain, Pearl. She is the Florina Clarius. extinguish your bright white heart. I'm going to return to her original colors. I can only heal. Right, and so, like, this is where she, like, yeah, healing tears can heal more than physical wounds. They can heal mental ones as well. What has become the Mana Sword? Did you give that to Elazul? This old thing? It's just an ancient tribe of nomads' sword. They can see in the past and imbued the sword with visions of the past. Like the Sword of Ages or something. That we saw, like, Elazul pulled that out once or twice. Very weird thing. Alright. So this is where we find out, like, why... Right, like, why is Pearl changing between Black Pearl and Pearl? What is going on here? Florina didn't see it either, right? Florina heard Sandra's side of the story. Pearl's memory of the desert. Alright? What do you hope to achieve by taking her away? Duty of a guardian who sits on the throne. Florina's going to die. He has changed since she joined the church. You won't find the Mana Stone in time. You must not ignore the suffering of many for the sake of one. Like, her wishes don't matter. Right? Like, I trapped her. Nora's bodies. Keep her safe. I elevated a new guardian to do the fires. Right? Like, it's just like, no. Sandra's like, no, like, sacrificing somebody on the altar of keeping your race, right, like, alive is wrong. You forgot how to cry or care. Right. So that's it. Like, it's like, your Dark Crystal. Black Pearl is like, I want to protect the entire race at the cost of one. That's what it takes. And Sandra's like, I don't care about the race anymore. You've shown that you deserve to. None of you deserve to survive. Classic left arguments. Right, so in that moment, Black Pearl tried to shoulder the burden of Clarius as Pearl. Right, and then she's like, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna murder Sandra. It's like, don't, like, I can heal her heart. Right? And then they both tell, right, like, look, you have never taken a life in Jumi wars, right? Like, you're new, right? Like, you don't have to dirty your hands here. Please don't. Right? But yeah, Florina's... Yeah, she changes back. Yeah, like, we had given the choice of taking Pearl or Elazul. Elazul is the speed choice, Pearl is the plot choice. Pearl is definitely slower. We often make taking Pearl a game incentive. So yeah, they're just like, we can't decide this, you decide this. Let's go to where the staff shows. We'll do this the proper way. Do not want to end up in that cafe. Getting out of Geo's a bit. Alright. Whew. Alright, and so that space on the water south of home, we've been saving it for just such an occasion. The last dungeon is right next to our house. It is the 18th placed artifact, which means that we can now complete the game, because you have to place these 18 artifacts and finish one of the 3 main quest lines to complete the game. Right. Alright, we start this way because it saves us a little bit of time when we at a certain screen later. Alright, so yeah, we need to get a bunch of gems to open some doors. Elazul obscured back from me. So these gems all have the same shape in PSX. They changed their shape in this one to help make it easier to distinguish them. Whatever, game. Oh, we got Tiara. That is the good headgear she can drop. Still don't care. Okay, so yeah, we need to interact with this door here. That's faster from the top. So we go right first. It's Jewel Beast 2 again. This is Jewel Beast 2 again, but this is Jewel Beast Fight 5. Jewel Beast 5. Jewel Beast 5. Jewel Beast 2 playing the part of Jewel Beast 5. Game. Why did that counter happen? Dead. Wow, that's so annoying. Death doesn't really matter, it's just a time waste, but that was top tier. You are being really annoying to waste. Technically, Elzo can finish the fight for me if he doesn't die. Elzo, I need you to finish the fight or die. At this point, I prefer you finish the fight. Alright, fine, Elzo. Oh, and another ST right as I come out of it. Elzo, this is why I screwed things up so I couldn't kill it quickly, but then you didn't actually finish the job. Oh well. Moving on. Throws this back here. See, only one of them is good. Alright. If the ideal is that both of them are good or neither are good, because that makes the routing clean, one is the worst case. Because it means that we have to do another full... You can't, even putting them on there, they're not actually out of your inventory until the door unlocks. So we grab these, the last 2 gems, and then we have to, after we succeed at the door, we have to go back and grab those gems again. Whereas if it was both or neither, right, like the routing can change there. Unfortunate. That's all the gems. Play this game. Okay, it's red and yellow. And red is in the other direction, so... screens away in either direction at this point. No, it's 3 screens away that way. It is 3 screens away that way. It's 3 screens away no matter what from here. Hey, pair of Chogan hoods again. Just end this. Just be done. Chocolate. You recognize that from Secret. Alright. Alright, yeah. Right, and we're through. There's 2 required cutscenes that you have to watch before you can get the where you can proceed to the final boss. 8 mummies are a bunch of HP that Elazul's going to ruin my ability to get rid of. The only thing that could have been worse there is if Elazul gained a level. Now we have 5 gems, and we have 3 slots to put them in. After we beat this boss. What could the boss possibly be, you ask? Well, it's Jewel Beast 6, which is played by Jewel Beast 3. This is why God hates Elazul. Again, I try to counter, and it's just some of the dumbest stuff. You've seen me kill these bosses plenty of times, but Elazul is just screwing with everything. Finally. Elazul. Elazul decides to be a pain in the ass even for real. Hope we don't need Aquamarine here. What? Also, I don't have the yellow? It's blue. It's... Alright, fine. That is something that happens a lot, is you do a fight and you forget to pick up the gem afterwards. But yeah, here's a cutscene from the before times. You see Rubens, you see Diana. Spin. Good talk. I missed one. Didn't pick up yellow, so I'm gonna have to go pick up yellow. Oh, I forgot, but I really didn't have it in my inventory when I was cycling there. It happens. It happens to everybody sometimes. Dangerous Eye, a long seed. Alright. Back up the place. Try and solve those gems. So the last floor requires 4, and there's 1 gem on that floor. So technically, there's a chance that you don't have to go back down. If you do go back down, you could try and skip this fight instead. This boss is a pile of HP. Foe's Gate. Shout out to lesbians. Jewel Beast 7, played by Jewel Beast 4. Eat everything that you do in fights. Nice thing about Black Pearl is that she doesn't screw around in fights like that. The bad thing is that she has to do her transformation sequence each time. So that just sucks a ton of time. And, you know, if Elazul behaved himself, right, like it would be faster. All right. Are we lucky? 3, not 4. Ah. Close, but no cigar. This, by the way, is part of why Jumi has kind of... People don't like the run because it has an RNG component at the end. Like, if you can get all 4 correctly, right, like, life is fantastic. And if you miss, right, like, you have to do a ton of backtracking. No. You can see whether the jewel is there or not. One of them was middle tier, one of them was diamond. We're missing 2 lower tiers from the second tier's situation, right? Aquamarine, blue, I think red is the third one on the second floor. No, it was green. All right. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. That's all the gems. Now we are guaranteed to succeed. Wrong direction. The other direction is faster on the second floor. This direction is faster on the third floor. Let me go! Oh my lord, game. We need to see the cutscene here. Never did. This is the Florina's lost and gone, right? Like as Black Pearl, whatever, right? She's out looking for the Mana Stones. And then that's Esmeralda and her 3 sisters, right? All the sisters go off, and we know that they get bored. Yeah, Esmeralda's just like, you know, I can't cry, so like I should be a knight, not a guardian. one we were missing was the yellow, which is on the bottom level. If we had gambled further, we would have lost. Alright. Welcome to Exposition Land. This is it. Sandra, Alex, Sandra, and Alexandra are the same person. Now we properly get introduced to the Lord of Jewels. He confused everything. She, 998 cores. 999. And here, whichever one you don't take with you gets cored. So, Pearl or Elazul. Now, Elazul, we're like getting swallowed. Dark Pearl, Black Pearl actually reacts, like as if it mattered. Which is interesting because otherwise she's kind of should not show us caring about Elazul. Immediately into an ST. That the game we're playing tonight, Lord of Jewels is a very boss. You can block, you can teleport, and also get STF. Like in theory, you can counterattack him, but like you can only counterattack him if he uses his one. That's a random move on Spotify. Yep. Alright, that's Lord of Jewels 999. As last bosses for the art go, that's, Golden 3 is about the same. I need a little more strength. And then Alexandra's like, okay, that's it. I'm committed. Right. Heal Florina. Right. Shed tears for Florina. And so this is the proper final boss of the Jumi arc. Lord of Jewels 1000. All of the final bosses of the arc get unique music and big ass screams. These whales STA. Oh, this one. The hitboxes on this thing are a nightmare. And there we go. Jewel Beast down. Jewel Beast again. No experience drops, no money drops, no item drops. And with that, I am now not in input mode anymore. So yeah, after all of that, after an entire race is thrown into the black hole to try and save Florina, your character cries and turns to stone and immediately heals everything. Teardrop crystal is made when our concern for others transcends societal boundaries. And if that's not a message we could use at this moment in time, the most powerful healing in the world is caring about, can only come about by caring about people beyond like your own. Having done that, right, Race Reborn, right, like Esmeralda was like, I think I can cry, right, and then Florina guides them in what it means to make another teardrop crystal. As the teardrop crystal expert that she is. Did it for like 100 years, you know? She's a bit of an expert on teardrop crystals. Thunderstorm, thunder and rain, rain and thunder. And it's Bud and Lisa. We didn't really interact with them other than that, but like, yeah, they move into your house as well. This room is not accessible in your house. Like, wherever they are is not somewhere that you can access. It's clearly like the attic. Just like the other rooms off of your main room aren't suitable for anything anyway. You have a library, you have like a closet. But yeah. So yeah, like when Jumi cry, it rains, right? Which is, you know, not really true, but true enough. And then the players are like, oh, right? Like the two are like, oh yeah, well, you know, you're not back yet. So this scene, like this last bit, is what announced that the game was going to come back. Like when we saw the HD remaster, it started out with the words that end this arc, and it was like, for those of us that knew the game, it was just like, oh wow, like that is what you're doing, right? Did not expect this in any way, right? Like why would so for all the things that Square can remake, how did the Legend of Mana make it up the priority chart? Happy that it did, but still remains a little mystifying. The only thing that makes sense is that they did an anime of it later that year, so like maybe the idea was a licensing tie-in, so to speak. Elazul and Pearl come home, right? They both hate kind of like their sprite work kind of indicates that, right? Like are not these, you know, not necessarily happy sprite work, right? And then you walk up, come back with a very small pause for the A for the last part of CK, and those words were what, you know, re-announced that Legend of Mana was getting a HD remaster. We get the Northern Lights, and we get the only one of the title cards where we are on it. Yeah, that lost a lot of time in Rock Crystal. All right, so we head back home. And we leave. This is the only non-Jumi trigger that allows that we do this. Cactus is talking with the Sproutlings. No, he's not dying. He's going. You're one plant. We all belong to one tree. You too. I didn't know that. The new plants join in the spiritual dimension, and the big tree comes. He's going to become a big tree, so am I. And inside, immediately leave, and we see another path of Sproutling leaves. Start the penultimate quest go in here, which is where all of our like shops go. But Nunzak has trapped the Sproutling in a dream, and Belle's like, but one, here's my thing, and then like B is like the power of mana would only cause war, right? Like, and like Nunzak has seen war and he's not interested. We are not going to listen to all of this exposition. Pokio basically is trying to like the purpose of life is living, right? Like, and like making yourself and the world smaller to live is not living. That is ultimately his argument. That convinces Nunzak to let us in. We are now here. Free the Sproutling. Entrapment of love. Pitfall of knowledge. Couple of springy boys. Sides. All of this experience with using the Steam version makes me want to play the Switch version. I have less trouble for me. I feel like the timings are a little off compared between the two versions. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, yeah, this is on PS5, Steam, Switch. I own it all those places. That's what happens happens when you speedrun a game sometimes. You have all That's the last fight victory. Welcome to the will to trust. Go to the mana tree. My job is to sprout link. Take the sword, close your eyes, and imagine. You got the sword. Huh? Page of Dreams, complete with the tape here. That's, you just got the last artifact. Place it 2 away from home because that's the closest we can get it. I need to hold down L there for speed, but now you can just watch this. One of the many cool little cutscenes that happens when you place a land. Making alien noises again. A rift to the spiritual land. The spiritual land is the way that the mana sanctuary, etc., have been referred to as in multiple games at this point. Alright, let's do it. We have 5 minutes to estimate. Let's get up this tree. Definitely on pace to make estimate. As soon as the game gives me back control. Yeah, no, that's the tree from the beginning of the game. We're all there, game. You can talk to Pokio here. He's one of the wisdoms. We won't. He has a lot of words to say. This realm really does a number on, like, how do you figure out how to get anywhere in these early PSX environments that are, pile of difficulty. We don't need to fight that Malboro or the Spring, I think Spring Ball afterwards. This should be the track. Wrong. Direction. Nonsense. Oh no, that's the wrong direction. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, why am I confused? It's in the wrong direction. It's the dragon fight next. Oh, it's the dragon fight. Right, first time. It's you. Dragon steak! Yum, yum, yum. All the chests in the game give materials only, which is nothing we can use. We don't even unlock the smithy. This is a Garuda. No, we have one more fight. We have the Chocobo fight out of Sanctuary, and then 4 fights, and then the final boss. Yeah, yep, Chocobo and Spring Ball. They're the only Chocobo we get to fight. If you have Final Fantasy VIII save data on your card, you get a Chocobo as your first pet instead of a Rabite. Definitely some odd meat, that's for sure. What kind of meat can you get off of this creature with the spring in the middle? Gate to the Sanctuary. This is the Mana Sanctuary, and again, if you're familiar with other games of the series, that's an important name. There are 4 fights in here, and then the final boss. 4 fights are at the corners of a 3x3 grid. It's lower left corner. You can't see either of these enemies in the course of the game proper. Never will. Nothing here but a treasure chest. None of that matters. Right, Yak. We did see a Basilisk before, but crazy. He has a lot of deforming attacks. And there are a number of enemies that can kind of trap you like that. Ways that are incredibly annoying against geography. Alright. Next, we meet the third member of the dragon family, Kid Dragon. Absolutely no point on this fight out. Dragons are piled with HP. Alright, one more fight. And we will see these enemies for the first and only time as well. Tomato Men, another series classic. In this game, they are incredibly, mind-blowingly important. They have numerous things that kind of take away your ability to act. With that, we are at the final boss. This music is called The Gloaming. Yeah, this is the mana tree being like, yeah, like, I am power, you know, I am beauty, I am grace, I am power, and they're like, that's just kind of how it works. Oh man, I just blew estimate. Stop hopping, start swinging. Of course we missed there. One more game. Amen. Amen. There. What an annoyance that was. That's it. It's time. Really easy. In that fight, if you let the eclipse happen, she raffle stomps you. Her ST at that point is wild. The Sproutling comes by. And it's like, hey, I'm a Sproutling. I'm here to heal the mana tree. And that's the last input. Is there. Alright. Really love this game. The HD remasters made it accessible to everybody. A lot of nice quality of life features. You can turn off encounters. We don't do it because it kind of removes the texture of the game. Right, like it's like the game's, you know, running through a bunch of empty areas and then fighting the boss, right, like isn't particularly fun to watch. Or do, honestly. It's useful if you're trying to grind something though. There are a number of places in the game where it's like I need to get, you know, 5 screens deep into this area to grind something. It's just like you don't have to fight that anymore. So yeah, that's nice. Like the Pixel remasters have kind of the same thing. You can just turn off encounters, right? Like just because like it makes everything a little easier. Yep. Like I said, available on basically every platform. This is cool. I'm glad that RGL is doing event like this. I have 2 other runs later in the event. Racing Lagoon in the wee hours of the morning tonight. And then I have Virtual Highlight to close this baby out. So yeah, that's where we all are. Hope you stay around and support. Next, we have Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, which is awesome. The Lufia games are awesome in general. And then Super Mario RPG after that in a number of hours. So I thank everybody for being around, and see you later.